40% of women between the ages of 40 and 50 actually have microscopic cancers in their breasts. About 50% of men in their 50s and 60s have microscopic prostate cancers. And virtually 100% of us, by the time we reach our 70s, will have microscopic cancers growing in our thyroid. What we eat is really our chemotherapy 3 times a day.
Meet Dr. William Li, a Harvard-trained physician, world-renowned researcher, and leading voice in the science of food, health, and disease prevention. He is the president and co-founder of the Angiogenesis Foundation, where his groundbreaking work has helped contribute to more than 40 FDA-approved treatments and medical devices for conditions such as cancer, heart disease, wound healing, and vision-related disorders. Beyond his medical research, Dr. Li is also a New York Times best-selling author. His book, Eat to Beat Disease, explores how the body's natural defense systems can be supported through everyday foods. His follow-up book, Eat to Beat Your Diet, expands on how food can help improve metabolism, support fat loss, and promote a longer, healthier life.
Well, the first thing that I think important myth to bust is that in order to eat healthy, you have to cut stuff out of your life, right? That's the thing that bums the people out the most. That's the thing that makes diets unsustainable because, human nature abhors deprivation. When somebody tells you you can't do something, your brain automatically triggers this switch that says, well, maybe just once or maybe more, right? So I've, again, sort of tried to flip that discussion around to say, could we actually add foods to our diet? What foods should we add? Because if we can focus on the foods that are supported by science that help us prevent disease and lower disease, ameliorate diseases, help treat diseases, frankly, that's food as medicine, then we're actually doing something positive. So that's the first myth is you got to remove everything that you love. I would tell you that the opposite is true. You can actually add food that you love. And my motto, by the way, is love your food to love your health, because that's what you want to line up. Those are the two sites that you want to line up when you're actually staring at your dinner plate.
Diet accounts for 30 to 35% of environmentally caused cancers. And in fact, we're probably forming these microscopic cancers all the time in our body. Autopsy studies from people who died in car accidents have shown that about 40% of women between the ages of 40 and 50 actually have microscopic cancers in their breasts. About 50% of men in their 50s and 60s have microscopic prostate cancers. And virtually 100% of us, by the time we reach our 70s, will have microscopic cancers growing in our thyroid.
Number 1, tomato sauce.
Well, the best example I know is a study of 79,000 men followed over 20 years, in which it was found that men who consumed cooked tomatoes 2 to 3 times a week had up to a 50% reduction in their risk of developing prostate cancer. Now, we know that tomatoes are a good source of lycopene, and lycopene is anti-androgenic. But what's even more interesting from this study is that in those men who did develop prostate cancer, those who ate more servings of tomato sauce actually had fewer blood vessels feeding their cancer.
Next the list is kiwi.
Kiwi is packed with vitamins and antioxidants, and it's been shown that eating just 1 kiwi a day can actually cause your blood to be fortified to neutralize about 60% of the incoming damage from DNA. And if you eat 3 kiwis a day, okay, which is pretty easy, right? You can put it into a yogurt, okay? It's something that's simple, actually will build itself back up so that damaged DNA will be repaired.
This is a study, a very small study, but an important one that just shows a proof of concept out of Singapore. They gave female volunteers 2 kiwis a day for 4 days and then looked inside their stool to see what happens. In the first 24 hours, they had 35% more lactobacillus in their stool just from eating the kiwi. The fiber in the fruit, feeding the bacteria, changing the population, and the bifidobacteria increased by 17% over the 4 days. These 2 bacteria, lactobacillus and bifidobacteria, they actually make other metabolites called short-chain fatty acids or SCAFAs that are anti-inflammatory. They alter our lipids and energy metabolism, and they actually help our gut have protective mucus layer, so you have less leaky gut kind of syndrome. So kiwi, who would have thought that the kiwi would have been beneficial to us on the basis of our microbiome? But now you have it.
Number 3, pear.
This is a pear, and the reason pears are so great are the fact that they've got chlorogenic acid, which is a bioactive, also found in apples, that can actually activate your metabolism and help you burn down harmful body fat. And chlorogenic acid is also anti-angiogenic, means it actually stops blood vessels from growing to tumors. Pretty cool. One of the things that I love about pears is that it's got a lot of dietary fiber. So an average pear has got about 5 or 6 grams of dietary fiber per pear. And a study from MD Anderson showed that just having that amount of dietary fiber can lower the risk of tumor progression or death by about 30% in one study where they looked at people with melanoma on immunotherapy. And so here is actually a food that can actually make medical treatments work better. Dietary fiber, pear, one of my favorites.
Next in the list is pomegranate juice.
I also drink pomegranate juice because it turns out that pomegranate juice can help us grow healthy gut bacteria that boosts our immunity.
Here's what's in the juice. It's got something called elagitannins. These are bioactives that can do a lot of great things. One of the things they do is actually they can cut off the blood supply to tumors, so they can starve cancer by cutting off the blood supply. But the other thing that they do is they improve your gut health by helping to grow a bacteria called Akkermansia. This is a guardian of the gut and guardian of health, and it actually comes from the pomegranate. So don't be afraid to pick one of these things up, eat the seeds, and juice them if you dare. The bacteria Akkermansia, which can be grown by drinking pomegranate juice or Concord grape juice or cranberry juice, that seems to be present in every patient who's a positive responder. They benefit. The tumor is wiped out by your immune system. In people who get checkpoint inhibitors for their cancer, because we don't know who responds and who doesn't respond, we're beginning to find out that what you eat and how it happens to change the ecosystem of your diet, of your gut bacteria, looks like it can actually make a big difference. And that big difference could be life and death.
Number 5, berries.
Berries, and we started talking about berries, have this ellagic acid and anthocyanins. Dark berries like blueberries, blackberries, and even strawberries. You know, anthocyanin is a kind of a reddish, purplish natural dye that is anti-angiogenic, immune boosting activity. Eating berries actually is really helpful for your health defenses. So that's, by the way, if you have berries, please don't put tons of sugar on them. Let Mother Nature's sugar, most berries are not that sweet.
Disclaimer: this information is for educational purposes only. It should not replace professional medical advice, diagnosis, or treatment. Always consult your doctor before making any changes to your diet or lifestyle, especially during cancer treatment, as individual needs and responses may vary.